to pray that we may cause the enemy to flee, that we his evil power may bind, his prisoners to free. Teach us to pray and firmly stand upon the battleground, to fight and break the stronghold down, the enemy confound. Teach us to pray and use thy rod in strong prevailing prayer, beneath thy blood to shake the earth and powers of the air. By prayer and faith, oh, may we learn to labor, Lord, with thee, to know the victory is ours and thine authority.
In front of me, besides me, you shouldn't have anything else. I say this to point out to you the first impression of the Ten Commandments refers us to his image. Could you follow me? Refers us to his likeness. In other words, it refers us to what? To God himself. So, the law is not just commandments for us to keep. The law, basically speaking, primarily speaking, is a testimony revealing what kind God he is. Could you follow me? Now, I like to point out that in the matter of law, there is a principle. What principle? The principle is this: whatever kind of people, what kind of law you make. If you are a bank robber, you legalize bank robbing. You know, in San Francisco, those homosexual people, they legalize homosexuality. And they were what? The drug addicts. They legalize marijuana. Right? So what? So whatever you legislate describes what kind of person you are. You see, if you are a highly cultured country like the US, you will have the most cultural legislation, right? If you are a behind country, a country backward, of course, your legislation will be very, very what? Barbarous. This is the principle. Now, God, who is the lawgiver, he gives the law. Do you believe God would legalize bank robbing? Do you believe that God would legalize homosexuality? Do you believe God would legalize drug eating? I don't believe. You see? Do you believe our God will legalize stealing? Telling people lie? And beat his father to death? Do you believe God will legalize adultery? No. He is not that kind of God. And which kind of God will legalize this? The God of witchcraft. Right? The God of witchcraft firstly legalized fornication. But our God is not that kind of God. I say this to show you the function of the law is not firstly to expose us. I must admit, telling you, 45 years ago, whenever I gave a message on law, I would strongly tell people, and I did, that the first function is to expose us. Well, it's not bad. In a sense, it is right. But tonight, as I told you already last time, I would not stress this point so much as I did 45 years ago. Now, I sure like to stress this one point, that the first function of the law is to reveal to us what kind of God he is. Now he brought his people into his presence, right? To fellowship with him, to serve him, and to worship him, and to contact him, and even to feast with him. Surely he had to make himself clear to his people.
Of the
Thus far, you have to realize 70 chapters of the Bible were written, right? Genesis 50, and now Exodus 20. Exactly 70 chapters of the Holy Word were written, but not one chapter did reveal to the people who contact God what kind God He was. Not one chapter. Yes, in Genesis chapter 17, God came in and told Abraham that I am the perfect God. Right? I am the Almighty God. That means I am the all-sufficient, all-perfect God. Well, that was a revelation of God, and that was easy for people to understand. That was a revelation of God. But there is not a chapter among the 70 that could be considered as a chapter of God's revelation until Exodus chapter 20. This is a unique chapter. This is a unique chapter that reveals what kind God, our God, is. But listen, this revelation is not in a kind of apparent, direct way. Apparently speaking, this chapter is the decree of law. Right? It's the giving of the law. Right? It is, apparently speaking, not a revelation of the law. But, actually speaking, the decree of the law is God's unveiling of Himself. In the decree, God made Himself clear to His people what kind God He was. It's quite meaningful, right? So what? So we all have to realize, to know the matter of law, we must get into the bottom. At the bottom of the decree of the law is what? Is the revealing of God. Whatever God has legislated, revealed Himself. Is this clear? We all must get into this concept. Otherwise, we will not understand this portion of the word adequately. I may come back to this point. Now, we all have read Deuteronomy 4:13, which says the 10 Commandments, right? And then Exodus 34:28 says the 10 Commandments are 10 words of God. 10 words. I will come back to the 10 words. This is very, very meaningful. You think these are 10 laws. These are 10 commandments. But God says these are His 10 words. Well, then I come back, you can see the 10 words, this expression is very close to my interpretation. That the law is God's revelation. The words, is a kind of a revelation. We'll come back. Now, anyhow, the law is told in the Bible to be the 10 Commandments.
One. our thought, but alone by the anointing, as the Lord has ever sought. Pray with one accord in spirit, supplicate relatedly, seek the Lord, His light is leading, in the Spirit's harmony. Pray with one accord in spirit, not according to our thought, but alone by the anointing, as the Lord has ever sought. Pray with one accord in spirit, pray and watch persistently, for God's kingdom and His glory. Pray and watch in harmony. Pray with one accord in spirit, seeking God.